Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Get the funds you need now, just in time for back to school with Courts Ready Cash. Plus, if you apply before October 3rd, you will be entered for a chance to win your loan free. That's right, when you take a loan for school expenses from Courts Ready Cash, you could be the lucky winner of up to $10,000 of your loan amount. Also, when you visit us during the month of August, you may receive free gifts like back to school essentials, gift vouchers, Courts Cash, Radio Shack coupons, and much more. Visit your nearest Courts or Ready Cash location or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. Conditions apply. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Offer ends October 3rd.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the state-of-the-art acute care hospital set to be constructed in Annesville will be the anchor of the new modern city in Annesville. Minister of Finance Camilo Gonçalves said this during a press conference at the Cabinet Room earlier this week, where he also said the new facility will provide a level of service never before seen here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll hear more from Minister Gonçalves. The construction of the state-of-the-art acute care hospital in Annesville is set to begin in the second half of 2023. Mr. Gonçalves says that it is hoped that the facility could be completed by 2025, but is more likely to be completed in 2026. The Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, ICDF, has reassured Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonçalves that they are prepared to do even more development work in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On Tuesday, August 9th, the Prime Minister and his delegation to Taipei sat down with leadership at the ICDF headquarters for a review of the programs and projects being implemented in SVG and regionally. On Tuesday, as his team made presentations to the visitors, Taiwan's ICDF Secretary General, Ambassador Timothy T.Y. Siang, agreed with the Prime Minister that more can be done. Ambassador Siang committed to working alongside the local officials to further refine and develop the assistance provided to SVG by the ICDF. Currently, Taiwan ICDF has 3 major ongoing projects and 1 recently concluded in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These cover the areas of agriculture, women's empowerment, digital transformation of the public service, and disaster mitigation. In just about a week, Cabinet will decide on whether the call by the minibus and taxi associations to have an increase in transport fares is justified and can be approved. Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel, speaking on NBC Radio, said with the increase in gas prices recently, the minibus and taxi associations have written to the Transport Board asking for an increase and making recommendations on an increase. Minister Daniel said having had preliminary discussions with representatives of the minibus and taxi associations, this Friday, August 12th, the Transport Board will meet to put forward a final memorandum which will be taken to Cabinet on Wednesday, August 17th. The matter is now before the Transport Board. It's something of concern to all of us. Hopefully that by next week, we will have everything in place to go to Cabinet for next meeting, Daniel said. Still on the local scene, a training workshop in food safety conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labor in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, was held at the Dumbarton Agriculture Station. The workshop is the first in a series of training programs which would be implemented over several weeks. Over 70 farmers and fisherfolk across the country, which will be divided into groups according to agricultural region, would benefit from these activities. The objective of this training is to build the capacity of producers to cultivate and supply high-quality food to the local market. The action falls under the Resilient School Feeding Program, which is a sub-project of Mexico CARICOM FAO initiative Cooperation for Climate Change Adaptation and Resilience in the Caribbean. The presentation on food safety in fresh fruits and vegetables was done by Agricultural Officer of Region 2 Extension and Advisory Services Division, Mr. Donald Jackson. On to news in the region. General Secretary of the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, ABWU, David Messiah, says he is seeking a meeting with Cleveland Seaforth, the court-appointed administrator for the cash-strapped regional airline Lear 1974 Limited. He said among the issues to be discussed will be the decision by the shareholder government to liquidate the company that owes millions of dollars to former employees who were dismissed last year. Messiah told the Observer Media Group that the administrator has kept the employees and their bargaining agent in the dark on relevant issues regarding the airline and the company. Messiah said the administrator must explain to the union what the liquidation means to the former and present employees of the airline, in addition to the way forward. The Royal Grenada Police Force has given a report on Carnival celebrations for 2022 and says the 2 days of Carnival were relatively peaceful. The RGPF says no major or serious incident was brought to the attention of the police during that period. Due to the vigilance of police officers, they successfully dissolved several fights and also recovered a significant number of offensive weapons of various types. The police force states that this may have contributed to the low level of violent incidents. A total of 43 vehicular accidents were reported in Grenada between August 7th and the morning of Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. 4 of those reports were categorized as serious by virtue of significant damage to the vehicles. There were no serious injuries. The Royal Grenada Police Force continues to appeal to Grenadians for their continued support as it strives to keep the country safe. On the international scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has declined to answer questions as part of a New York State investigation into his family's business practices. Mr. Trump had sued in an effort to block the interview at the New York Attorney General's office on Wednesday. State officials accused the Trump Organization of misleading authorities about the value of his assets in order to get favorable loans and tax breaks. Mr. Trump denies wrongdoing and has called the civil probe a witch hunt. An hour before he was pictured arriving at the Manhattan office where he was questioned under oath, Mr. Trump released a statement in which he criticized New York Attorney General Letitia James and the broader investigation. Years of work and tens of millions of dollars have been spent on this long-simmering saga and to no avail, he said. I decline to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution. Ms. James's office confirmed that the interview took place on Wednesday and that Mr. Trump invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. And finally, in sports, Millie Bright has signed a new contract with Chelsea, which will see the England defender extend her stay at the Women's Super League champions for a further 3 years. The 28-year-old joined the Blues from Doncaster Rovers Bells in 2014 and is the club's longest-serving player. Bright, who has 58 England caps, played in all 6 games of the Lionesses' Euro 2022 triumph last month. I can't wait to continue fighting for more trophies, said Bright. Chelsea General Manager Paul Green said, "We are absolutely delighted that Millie has signed a new contract." This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
This summer, go outside with a brand new AKT motorcycle. You can hit the road with an AKT bike for as low as $5,999. With the purchase of any AKT, you get a free True Rider chest bag plus a free tank of gas. It doesn't get any better than this. No cash, no problem. With Quartz Ready Finance, you pay $0 down and pay nothing for 60 days. Shop online at shopquartz.com or in store. This offer is is good for a limited time only. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world, with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Boy, that's where you getting crashing on. Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email